It's the Duffin Up Podcast. All right, Duff Daddies and Duff Mamas, we have on a very, very, very special guest tonight. This man, like us, is from New England. He is from the great state of Massachusetts, although he is from Western Mass, so some people don't consider that Massachusetts. I do. I am all-inclusive. I love everywhere in Massachusetts, although it is far away. It's an over-hour drive. That got to pack an overnight bag getting out there. It's brutal. We have on the founder, the CEO, the Grand Poobah, I don't know what else we can call it, of CMD Golf Company, Coggin Machine and Design. We have on Jayme Coggin this evening. Jayme, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. First question. Why did you pick the Ghost as?
Because it's amazing. Can't you see with your own eyes?
I mean, it is fantastic. And I will say, I think by far and away, I don't know if your favorite holiday is Halloween, but I will say some of the Halloween special ball marks you've been putting out are nothing short of fantastic.
Thanks. So real quick, 2019 is when I got the golf side of the business going. And for that first year of doing social media and trying to sell products, it was a real grind. I mean, there's no textbook written out on how you start up a little boutique golf business, selling products on on Instagram and promoting it through there. And come around Halloween, I decided hey, it'd be pretty cool if I did some kind of ghost. I found a piece of clip art that I thought was pretty cool. I adjusted it to my own liking and produced that first ghost ball marker, which is now my logo. And it was the first thing that I created that had any kind of real success to it. Fast forward, to 6 months and gaining a little bit more popularity. And I'm realizing that the original logo I had was not really golf conducive. It was a micrometer and, it kind of had like a hidden message in it. Some people didn't understand what it was. I was like, if you see any successful brand out there, they've always got some kind of iconic logo that's either catchy or looks simple or just something that you can instantly recognize. So I just kind of forced the Ghost onto some products and I got a lot of great feedback from it, and it's been super popular, and I'm very thankful that I've done it ever since. So I like to think of the Ghost as a little soul of me on all of my products, just because how it's a ghost. But yeah, that's pretty much the story. It's not a super cool story, but it is what it is.
I mean, I think that's a great story. I will say some of the ghosts that you have created just as ball markers, and obviously they're on every single one of the Coggin putters that you make, but Wasted Ghost, currently one of my favorites. Leprechaun Ghost for St. Patrick's Day, pretty great. And the 150th annual Open Championship Ghost, you got the Scottish flag right there. That one is sick. I will say, how long, because I know everything in your line of work is incredibly labor intensive. I'm sure you're in the shop 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days. Just to make one of these, little ghost guy and little ball markers, how long would you say it takes?
So if I'm starting something from scratch, it's a whole new design, new holiday, new whatever, I'm going to spend half a day in front of my laptop just designing it. And depending on it, I should say it depends. The machining time for it is approximately an hour per piece for both sides. Painting's going to take a few minutes per piece. But the design part can fluctuate. It might take half a day. It might take a whole day of prototyping, trying different things. So, usually when I'm doing my batches now, they take me like 10 days to make them from start to finish, the entire batch. So for one ball marker, it's going to be like an hour-ish to make one from start to finish.
Gotcha. And I'm looking at the website here now, and it seems like the wait lists are growing, or if not full at the moment. So I mean, it seems that your business seems to be doing well, and you don't have a lack of I guess business coming in and wanting your products, because clearly, I mean, these putters, these wedges, they're sweet. It's really cool to look at, and also you should add to your resume that you're also a model, because I see you in the in the t-shirt photo is you're the model for that. So why
I don't think
outsource?
I'm not getting hired for any modeling. I actually might not have sold as many shirts as I should have because I was modeling it. So it might be counterproductive.
I'm all about a relatable model, because when you see someone who's just like unbelievably good looking with washboard abs and everything, I'm like, yeah, that's not realistic. I don't know if that shirt's gonna fit me, kind of thing, because that's not me. It is for Tim the firefighter. He could be with his washboard abs, but for me, the brother that doesn't hit the gym as much as I should, I think it's relatable. Good relatable content.
Exactly. In the golfing world, are you seriously rooting for obviously you are rooting for a Justin Thomas, but are you going out there rooting for a DJ, or like when Shane Lowry comes into play, the beer swigging, big old belly man? Aren't you just like, I kind of want to see him win? And I'm always like that because I love Shane Lowry, but you always want to see you normal people make people normal again. That's all that matters.
Yeah, make it attainable. And so with that, I mean, you went into kind of the backstory of your logo and how you chose the ghost, but how did you get into golf and creating a golf company, golf brand? Have you always been a golfer, or did you just pick it up late in life? Like, what's your story there?
How deep do you want to go?
All the way. Start it out the womb all the way to now.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to start. So, all right. So it actually starts with my grandfather. Okay. He and his brother were golfers when they were younger. And, at the time, there weren't as many golf courses in this area. And they were at some golf course. I don't know which one it was, but they happened to park in the owner's parking spot. And the owner pulled up and, tore the two of them a new one, if you will. And it obviously, left them a little bit sour about that golf course because they were treated poorly by the owner. So the two of them, decided that day that they wanted to build their own golf course so that they could treat people the way that they would want to be treated. And, they essentially had this idea of just building a blue collar, everyday man's golf course where, you get a mechanic or a whomever who gets out of work. They don't have time to run home, change clothes. They're wearing jeans, dirty clothes, what have you. They just want to go to the golf course. They want to play in their league. They want to have. So that brother that my grandfather wanted to build a golf course with actually passed away in a car accident. So my grandfather always held on to that dream. And in 1961, he built the first 9 of his golf course. And I kind of skipped a big chunk right there of him buying the land and whatnot, but that's a whole nother backstory. But anyway, so he started his own golf course in 1961, first 9, and then built the second 9 in 63. So that golf course is still in my family to this day. Wow. When I was 10, my grandfather tried to get me into golf. He'd bring me to the driving range, and I didn't like it. So I didn't start playing golf until the age of 19. And I was already in machining. I took machining in high school. I love making things. I love designing things. I love taking a raw piece of material and turning it into something that's actually tangible. I got the golf bug really, really bad. So when I turned 20, I bought a house across the street from that golf course. So I had access to that golf course 7 days a week, and I practiced 7 days a week, and all through the winter. I mean, just all the time. And so I kept playing golf all through, from that age until now. I became a teacher. I started teaching machining in my early to mid 20s, and as time went on, you teach in the same classes year after year after year. Becomes a little bit mundane, and I wanted to start to do something to try to challenge myself a little bit more. another challenge of being a teacher is you can't work overtime. You know, your salary is your salary. So, and as you guys probably know, teachers don't make the greatest salaries. So kind of wanted to combine those two thoughts of giving myself something a little bit challenging while also, you know, trying to make a little bit of money on the side. So I had an opportunity to buy an old crappy machine that a family member had. I pushed that into my garage and I started doing some machining. So this was totally not golf related. It was just doing some basic commercial work for other machine shops, or, you know, pulling work off the internet. And I was not involved in social media at the time. I just kind of steered away from it. But you know, obviously, I knew about your bigger companies like you know, your Scotty Camerons, your Bettinardi's, or whatever, and I always appreciated those fine milled putters. Well, one day I happened to stumble upon some of the boutiques on Instagram, and that's when I realized, I'm like, oh my God, these guys are, you know, working out of their garages, and you know, they're making small batches of things, and you know, they're doing this full time. It's like, I could do that. So that's where 2019 is where I started to transition into some golf stuff a little bit here and there. And yeah, so that was a long story, but here we are.
No, that's amazing. And sorry to hear about your brother. But I think for
grandfather's brother.
Oh, grandfather's brother. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if I misspoke.
No,
Yeah.
Great uncle.
Yeah, I didn't pick. I don't know if it was just me. I didn't pick up on that. I just
I never knew him. No.
Oh, okay. So all right. So it went from a sob story to still a great story.
No. My brother is well and fine.
I was about to say,
Jayme,
if you did know him, like, and you were born in 1961, you look great for a 61-year-old. Like, I was gonna say that. So
I'm so bad with that math, but I was gonna say, if it was your brother, then sounds like he was the favorite grandson too. If you weren't involved in that vision and dream. But for us personally, and for the people at home, do you want to say the name of your golf course?
Oh yeah, of course. So it's here in this town in Westfield, East Mountain Country Club. You know, it's not a golf course where you're going to go to that's going to have plush fairways. You know, you're going to get some decent greens. It's relatively short. You know, pretty forgiving, pretty wide open. Like I said, it was built with the intent to be an everyday man's golf course, and it still holds true to that to this day. You know, if there's frost, there's no frost delays. As long as there's no snow on the greens, the course is open year round.
Love that. We just but the course that I play at Fresh Pond, they started doing, if there's like a frost delay, that they just cancel your tee time. They don't even like push it back. I was like, that's crazy. I mean, it is a city course, and we have to play by the rules, but sometimes they can have weird policies like that. So it is frustrating too, because imagine you're waking up and you're on your way like for a 7 a.m. tee time, and you just I don't even know if they notify you that it gets canceled until you get there. I wouldn't want to get all the way there and find out that my tee time was just canceled and not rescheduled or anything. So
yeah, that's a bummer.
So it's like simple things like that I think go a long way. And obviously we're not millionaires or even really rich people. So we are definitely the common folk, the people that duff it up around the golf course and slug beers and park in any parking spot that we want to park in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will also say these price, like, we may be visiting that golf course very soon, because $31 for 18 holes. Yes. Yep. I'm in. I will walk my big self will walk those full 18s. I will save money on the cart, and we will have a great time. That sounds.
Just let me know when you want to come up. Be happy to tee it up.
Oh man, that is a place that we always talk about it, how, especially in Massachusetts, and I'm not sure if you feel the same way or not, but whenever I go back down south, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of great courses that you can play. Like, you know, it's a little pricey here and there, but then when you come back up north, it's either like very pricey country clubs that like you cannot join, or, you know, some of the public courses where they don't take care of them either. Like, I know we have like Stony Lee and like a bunch of other places that we grew up playing and we love them, but like, you know, they're not really that taken care of during the summer. Like, no one really wants it. Like, there's no real like in between place, and it sounds like your place is a perfect in between, and that's why I absolutely loved it when I saw it here.
And
yeah, I mean, I will say, like, this summers can be rough.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of money to keep a course in flush condition throughout the summer. I mean, with the heat, I mean, it costs so much money. It's crazy. That's why normally it's your either your country clubs or your, whether or not they are public courses. If they are a public course, usually the greens fee is like 125, 150, versus your $40 tee times.
But now we know why Granite Links is so expensive.
I don't know.
But,
I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but it seems like all the online tee times between now and when next Wednesday are booked up, even just for one player. Is that the case? You guys seem to be jumping.
No, I can't say honestly. It's not that busy, especially this time of the year. That might be a mistake.
Maybe got a call.
Yeah. I mean, for my family's sake, I hope it is that busy, but it's not that busy. Yeah,
I will say
cold fall weather.
Yeah, we do have a place down. We do have a really nice course down here that you cannot make online tee times. You can only call to make a tee time, and that we have we go there a good amount. It's pretty good out in Rehoboth. It used to be called Sun Valley. I totally forget the name of it now. Jesus Christ, I play there like every weekend. I played there like once.
You talking about
Hazelton?
the one
Hazelton. Yeah,
Hazelton. Oh,
Hazelton. I can't believe I forgot the name, but like,
you're talking about
very...
Locust.
No. Locust was 9 hole. Oh, Locust was
that's a funny golf course name because Locust Valley, it played exactly how it sounds. Like Locust, you think of just like a dingy, dusty, dry thing. Like you associate Locust with just that, and that's how the course was. It was just this dog track or racetrack, I guess, so to speak, that was just dusty, and it ran down. It was one of those that we wanted as kids growing up. We're like, that'd be awesome if we could buy this out and make it into a sweet golf course, because the layout was kind of cool, but we were also like 14 years old and didn't have money and didn't know how to get a loan or run a golf course. So so you like with your family having this course in your family as a business, is that something that you would consider moving into? Are you heir apparent? Is there other people in line that have expressed more interest?
So, I mean, I have two uncles who are part owners, and then I have my mother who's a part owner, and then my grandmother. So my grandfather passed away, I think 9 years ago now. And, so it's owned by 4 different people right now. And I don't know if I'll ever throw my hat in the ring or if that'll even be an opportunity. I like to stay focused on what I'm doing now. The golf course business is really, really hard. And especially at the greens fees that you're seeing there, you've got 2 other courses here just in this town who charge pretty much the same amount. So you're competing at the same price point. Where's your pool of people coming from? And then there's another course right around the corner from us. It's about the same price. So it's a very, very competitive market in this area, especially at this price point. So it's a tough business. And I see how hard my uncles and my mother works, for what they get out of it. I'd rather keep making putters.
That's all. And do they sell your stuff, or at least advertise your company in the pro shop?
No, I mean, look at those greens fees and look at the prices of my stuff compared to typical golf club. You can put 2, and they don't cross over. I could put them in there, and they certainly offered, and they would definitely let me, but I can't hang on to anything that I make anyway. So why bother put inventory over there that's just going to collect dust or get dinged up by people who are, wanting to pick it up and try it.
That's true. That's bad.
Totally understand that. Maybe once in a while, the nice little ghost guys will get over there, but
I think it confuses a lot of people that are not in the niche realm of boutique golf. It amazes even some of my family members that people would pay $60 for a ball marker. It's like, wait, what? Can't wait. You just use a quarter.
Yeah, I know. I use a euro from Ireland,
yeah,
but
that's cool.
But I mean, it's something to think about too. Is like, I mean, you probably maybe even making like a custom East Mountain Country Club head cover or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not gonna get into your business plan.
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no,
want to
no.
step
It's
on any
cool. No, I
toes.
appreciate it. No,
I'm all
it's just
about.
it. I would love to have you guys out. It's not that kind of pro shop. I'll just leave it at that.
Do you have at least like pre-made sandwiches or at least hot dogs? Is that a?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say,
No,
okay.
it's a great clubhouse. No, there's a great snack bar upstairs, a huge banquet hall, huge bar. It's a great clubhouse for sure. It's just that the pro shop itself doesn't usually move that much product. That's all.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Totally makes sense. Just recycled golf balls and maybe some teas. That's all you need. That's the working man. That's all you need. Just
Correct. Yeah.
the means. That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, I that's always the dream. It's like, I mean, my dream's always run an Irish pub or run a golf course, but I know how much effort goes into both and very little return on investment. It's more of a passion.
Yeah, it's got to be a labor of love. Totally.
And I have no experience or a degree or anything in that, so I don't even know where I would begin.
My grandfather dropped out of high school, joined the Army, somehow became a tool maker, decided to quit his job to start the golf course, bought some land, subdivided it, bought more land, subdivided more, bought an old farm, went to some people who had a landscaping business, or I don't know landscaping, but they had a bunch of bulldozers, and he walked up to them and he's like, I'm building a golf course. I don't have any money, but I need access to bulldozers and the heavy equipment that you have. I don't have any money I can give you, but I promise you once a golf course is open, I don't know what I can pay you, but I promise you I'll pay you something every single month. And that's and the people who had those bulldozers agreed to it. That's exactly how it happened.
That's cool. I would honestly just say, can I have a free membership every year at that point?
It was a very different world 60 years ago where people could actually agree upon things with a handshake versus where
no contracts and lawyers. Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, that's amazing. So, I mean, you're giving me fuel and fire to want to pursue my passions of making a golf course, but I don't want to go through the Army, and two, I don't know how to do all that and learn all that. That's just me thing. I'll take the easy way out and just play and spend money on people's golf courses. Like
you only live once, Brian. Don't forget that.
There we go. You are an enabler, and and my girlfriend's gonna hate you for encouraging me to do this. But
yeah, that's I mean, everything you just said though, right? Like, think about it back in the day, like opening up a golf course, probably a lot easier. I mean, definitely a lot easier than it is now. But what I really wanted to kind of hone in on this, because you look at some of the quality of the milled putters on here is absolutely amazing. And I know you're pretty much sold out like on a regular basis because you make them to order. So what kind of got you into the mindset of, when you mentioned Bettinardi, when you mentioned a lot of the other putting companies as well, going from there, the large manufacturers, I know that I always forget the actual name of like the big golf manufacturer, like the acronym, but like, OEMs or something like that. But going from like those guys to getting into the niche boutique side of kind of golf and having these, great milled putters, like what got you into kind of the putter game? And I know that you also work on wedges, irons, everything like that, but what kind of made you go into, I want to mill these putter, like I want to build like the best milled putter that I can?
Well, I mean, more to break it down simply, because I saw other people were doing it and I knew that it could be done. I knew that I wanted to build golf clubs, right? Starting out by trying to make a driver is not a good idea, right? So you kind of work your way through the bag and you think like, well, what can I actually make? And in your opinion, which club do you think is probably the most simple out of all of them? It's probably the putter. It's being swung the slowest. And what are the important factors of a putter? You obviously need to make sure that it has a little bit of loft to it, right? Because if it doesn't, it's going to, likely jam the ball into the ground and it's going to skid it and it's not going to go online. All right. So you need to make sure you have some kind of loft to it. You're going to need to make sure that you have a rounded sole because, you can't have a perfectly flat sole to your putter because not all putting greens are flat. And, not everybody soles the putter perfectly flat anyway. So it's going to catch edges. Okay. So you need to either have a rounded sole or some kind of tri-sole. And I mean, honestly, you need to make sure you have a loft and you need to have sole. But other than that, there's so many different variables. You can create whatever shape that you find appealing. You can create whatever neck that you find appealing. You need to make sure you fit within certain parameters. That the USGA and the RNA, fit within their rules and their parameters. But they're not insane. If you saw the rules, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, it's not that big of a deal. So, while at the same time, putters can be very complex in their construction, at the end of the day, you can take a block of material and you can give it a rounded sole and you can put, the correct loft on it and stick a shaft in it and you can call it a putter. So, although you can make very, very complex putters, and there are some putters out there that have a lot of engineering behind them that are far more complex than anything that I've ever created. But that's really where I was coming from. I knew that I could create something, pretty easily. I knew it was within my wheelhouse. I knew that there was no way I was going to create any irons or wedges from scratch. I knew obviously woods are out of the question. So let's start with putters.
I mean, I completely hear what you're saying. And I know you showed me kind of one of your original prototypes as well. So I do have to ask because I do see a lot of different styles. We have the regular blade, we have the half mallet, we got the full mallets on here. What is your go-to?
So I use a gauge R. I don't know if it's like my favorite shape that I make, but I make a lot of putts with it, and I don't play a ton. So when I do go out and play, I like to use something that it's a lot easier for me to make putts. Yeah, that's my go-to. I have a gauge R. I have the original Skylar that I first made. I have a tri-gauge that I never use. And then I have a Westfield, one of the first Westfields that I made that, again, just has sentimental value to it. But, so right now I currently personally own, well, actually, I take that back. I have a fifth one. I have the original prototype that was like the first putter that I ever made.
I mean, they are legitimately like pretty fantastic. So I'm just very jealous that you get to hit this every day, or every time you play.
No, trust me, it's cool, man. Especially like creating all these custom putters for all these customers. I mean, one of the coolest parts about it is being able to try all of them before they leave.
Oh, I can imagine. And then do you just ever, like, obviously knock on wood, no bad juju. Have you ever just made a putter and you were just like, this ain't it? Like, I gotta or maybe not restart from scratch, but I gotta put this down. I gotta shave some of this off. Like, I gotta kind of remold it. Like, have you ever had that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got a whole drawer of them I could show you.
Are they just, like, obviously, like, you have a standard and like you live up to that standard, but was it just like kind of, either is it kind of like how Titleist has like the X outs where it's like there's a nice little small, like there's like a small blemish here, or there's somewhere just like, oh no.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, there's both. I've got some in there that have catastrophic failures to them, and then other ones it's like I could show it to you and you'd be like, I can't tell you what's wrong with this, but I could point it out.
Have you ever decided to go into a Titleist X out road? Let me know. I will gladly putt with that bad boy. We'll see. It might even help me. Lord knows I need the help on the putting, so it might even help me using a putter that's got a little bit of a blemish. I'm
saving them for some cool stuff down the road. I turned one into like a little just a showpiece, a shelf piece. It came out
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool.
great.
I welded a couple ball markers on it and put some little feet on it. Came out pretty cool.
Oh, wow. That is art right there. That must have been absolutely fantastic to see. So I know that, you said you started with putters, and I have noticed that you have kind of graduated and also gone into, building custom wedges, building custom irons. One thing I wanted to ask you, because I noticed that you do the degrees instead of the numbers, which I think is fantastic. Do you do that because everyone now is kind of de-lofting their clubs and everyone's saying like, I hit a 9-iron when it's actually a 6-iron and like all of that? Or did you just kind of want to keep true to like the idea of like, this is a degree, like people will send in special orders. They want their 9-iron this degree, they want this degree, everything like that.
So I've stamped a few iron sets with just the numbers on them. It's more or less what the customer is asking for. But in my opinion, I like putting the lofts on there, not only because it's unique, but I knew, like, I always had this idea in my head that I wanted to create my own set of irons. I had no intention on doing it to then have it be another part of the business. I happen to, stumble upon the blanks that you can buy from Japan that you can grind in yourself. Mm-hmm. And when I saw those, I bought one set just for myself, just to make for myself. Again, I had zero intention on ever taking orders for them or selling them. And I always play with this, this one guy who would always ask me on par threes, what'd you hit? And it's like, man, I know that your club is not the same lofts as my club. I'm playing, players' cavities, and you're playing a game improvement iron. It's like, I know that they're not, so stop asking. My 9-iron is not your 9-iron.
That is what I always say. Like,
drives me nuts, man.
I'm like, that's my 150 club. That's like, I'm not going to tell them the number or whatever, because
So I always wanted to be a smart ass and be like, no, it's my 46. And then when someone gives me a hard time, like, oh, come on, just tell me. It's like, no, look at the bottom of it. It's actually a 46.
Yeah, so it's a degree. Yeah. And this was known as an 8-iron in Jack Nicklaus's day, and it as a pitching wedge. So
correct.
I just find it so fascinating that like we've gone that route, but it's all. And do you think it's really just because, like, as someone who makes like the boutique clubs, like, do people sometimes ask you like, why are you making it like your 9-iron at a specific loft? Because they're like, well, it won't go as far. Or are they just like, are they like that? I guess not well informed. Yeah, I would say well. Are they that informed that like they know exactly what degree that they kind of want for each club, and then you guys just kind of roll with it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say most people that are like falling down this rabbit hole to find me usually know what they want, but there will be some people who are unsure what they want. And, I usually I'm not building them their entire bag. So like, what do you got at the top end and what do you got at the bottom end? And let's just make sure that we get the gapping correctly so that your yardages are correct. And I think the more people can take their ego out of it and not worry about hitting a certain iron, a certain, length, or that they think that they should be hitting it, and rather than just, fill in those gaps. If you hit your, let's say you're carrying, 5 through pitching wedge, and then you're carrying a 52, a 56, and a 60. But if your pitching wedge is a 42 degree, there's going to be a massive yardage gap between your pitching wedge and your 52. So you need to make sure that you fill in that correctly, so you're not left in those uncomfortable shots. So so some people know, some people don't. And when they don't, I just try to make sure that they fill in the gaps correctly. It has nothing to do with how far you think that you should hit a pitching wedge.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, that's probably the most important advice. Oh, sorry, Brad, go ahead.
I was just kidding. You should just stamp the yardages, each person's yardages on the club, being like this.
I've thought about that, but you never know. You might start working out, hitting it farther, or maybe you get old. It's
that's opening up a whole different market for you. Is that a re-stamping?
No,
you can send it in, get it re-stamped if your yardages change.
Sure.
No, I'm kidding, but yeah, no, that's too funny. And Brennan, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you didn't cut me off at all. I was just saying, like, I can imagine on that side, like someone going out and what you just said too with like the 150. It's like, you said this was 150. I hit it 145. Blah blah blah. It's like, okay, send it back. I'll just redo it right there. We'll restamp it.
Yeah, you were downhill. It was a downhill par 3, and you sculled it. So you can't blame the club on this one. I'm all about built-in excuses, but at the end of the day, I know it's my fault every time. So you won't hear that from me. But I feel like if there are those Karens out there that would do that as well. But do you so do you do, I know like you stamp your clubs, but do you do, like, if someone were to send in like their wedge to get it stamped, do you do custom stamping at all?
I could. It's never something that I've offered. I've just been too busy making my own stuff that it's never really made sense for me to go down that road.
Makes sense.
I prefer to stamp my own stuff, because if I F it up, then I can just grab another one and start over. Whereas if you send me, a club that you care about and I screw it up, then, I got to buy you a new one, and that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Cleveland wedges, they can be stamped. It doesn't matter. You can mess up a stamp on a Cleveland wedge. It's okay.
I don't think I would mess it up, but again, I'm so busy with my other stuff. It's just,
maybe
there's plenty of other companies out there that will, stamp your wedges and refinish them however you want. I don't need to throw my hat in that ring.
Yeah, stamp some old Cleveland zip grooves, illegal zip grooves into my non-zip groove wedge kind of thing.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, get the illegal wedges back. That would certainly be great. I would love it. My thing, I can't spin the ball anyways with like a 60 or anything. It just kind of like plops down, and it's good because it stops, but just kind of like plops down. And I was like, oh, I want it to spin back. It's like, well, Brennan, you're not very good, so you cannot spin the ball back yet. In fact, you probably will never be able to spin the ball back. So let's just get that out of the way, and we'll be okay.
Now, you may have said it earlier when you were going through your spiel, but I was browsing your website, and just looking at all that stuff, so I wasn't necessarily listening. But is it just you? And my wife helps me a little bit here and there. She makes all my head covers. She'll help me with packaging and shipping and stuff like that here and there when she has time. But yeah, other than that, it's just me. That's amazing. Is your wife's name Skylar? Is that why?
No, my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's even better.
All the putter. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's earning some points there.
Skylar and Cam. So those are, I have 7-year-old twins. So boy and a girl, Skylar and Cam. And then we recently just had a new one 2 months ago, Carter. So
congratulations.
Thank you. At some point, there'll be a putter named after Carter, and I do have to name one after my wife someday. But that one, she's given me crap about that a couple times. What are you waiting for?
I was about to say, when you start making, so we will go down the route. When you start making drivers in woods, you can name the big dog after her. Like that would be. No.
I wouldn't hold your breath on any woods. I have no interest in getting into that world.
Can't rush perfection, honey. It's got to be perfect, just like you. That's what you got to say. I can't rush it.
That would be funny. That would actually be, sorry, honey. We're trying the 3-wood, but it has to be absolutely perfect in order to sell it. So I can't do it. So obviously, like, woods in general are definitely the hardest club to make. Would you say it's one of those things where it's just so labor intensive, and so like having to get either the grooves correct, or like, obviously with irons, like you said, like you can buy you're able to get the forged heads, and then you can go and kind of grind them yourself. I'm sure that woods it's not like that. So just kind of wanted to hear your side on, like, why is it so difficult to kind of make, fairway woods and drivers?
There's a massive engineering process that goes behind creating woods in general, drivers. I mean, especially you look at the newer stuff, you've got multi-materials, you're combining titanium, you're combining carbon fiber, you're combining other kinds of composites, and you're getting all of these pieces together, and you're getting them to fit hollow, right? It's not, there's no special machine out there that's just creating these heads just as one piece. A lot of these are, you know, starting out as multiple pieces. Some of them will be either, you know, stamped in a press and a die. Some of them are molded, and, you know, then they might go through some kind of machining process in order to clean up some edges, you know, and then you're fitting them together. You're doing some kind of seam welding on them, cleaning them up. There's just a lot of highly specialized machines that are specifically designed just to create these type of, you know, quote unquote sheet metal types of products. You know, you're dealing with a lot of thin materials. It's very different than taking a very large chunk of material and putting it into one of these machines and trying to machine it out. It's just, even though it's still in the same realm of manufacturing, it's just very different. And like, you know, the high prices that you're paying for a driver, like the materials themselves are not costing these companies very much money. You're paying for the equipment that they have to, you know, either purchase or lease or whatever in order to make, and then all the engineering that goes into it. I mean, they've got, you know, teams of engineers that work on these things for, you know, look at Titleist. They drop a driver every other year, and they've got a team of people working on it, and it takes them, you know, I mean, how long is that? 24 months to work on this? You know, I mean, that's a lot of money.
It's kind of crazy when
they're getting prototypes made, you know. I mean, it's just, I can't even imagine what their budget is for, you know, prototyping and R&D on some of this equipment. I mean, it's baffling.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you hear about it, because, you know, we're obviously from Massachusetts. I live pretty close to New Bedford, where Acushnet is. And you kind of hear, and before they moved everyone over to Carlsbad, like you would hear them hiring like MIT and Harvard and like all of these crazy schools. And I'm like, why are they hiring all these guys? And then you realize, oh, wait, like they're designing everything and then building it from scratch. And they're doing everything on that side. And I can, like what you just said, like carbon fiber is not very pricey at all. I feel like a forged iron head would be much more expensive than any of the material within a driver. But because of the intensity, I guess, of building it, like going through those machines, like doing everything like that, yeah, it's gonna be a lot more money now.
Yeah, that's intense. No, thank you.
What part of the process is the worst? Like your least favorite and or the most strenuous or tedious part?
I personally don't care for finishing. You know, I usually have dirty hands, and just my shop is dirty, and I prefer the machining aspect of it. I don't care for the, you know, trying to get the perfect finish on the putter and then painting and whatnot, because all it takes is like one tiny little imperfection, and it's like, son of a bitch, I gotta start this all over again. So it's just kind of annoying. It's not my favorite part of the process.
I did notice on your wedges too, you kind of have the sorry, I was looking at it earlier. You have like the rough, like the non-finished ones, and honestly, like the brushed raw finish, like that looks just as nice as kind of like the polished ones. Like I think some of the best wedges, if you see like Cleveland, like I love their non-finished stuff. I love you know, like TaylorMade just put out the black, which obviously is different because it's very finished. But like I enjoy the non like super duper finished, like crazy, just sparkling steel, like in your face. Like I think the raw finish looks great.
And honestly, the matte black, I have a matte black wedge, and it's turning silver anyway over wear and tear. It just goes away anyway.
Yeah, I like the look of raw clubs. You know, it's different. You can't always go to a store and buy them off the shelf like that. It's, you know, it's different. It has its drawbacks. You know, they do wear out quicker. And obviously, if you're someone that doesn't like rust, then it's definitely not for you. But they feel really good. You know, raw forged club has a really nice feel to it.
And then we just send them back to you when we need the grooves resharpened and everything like that. We had a great guest, Sarah, on a couple months ago, and in one of her videos, you know, we were talking to her, and she mentioned like, oh yeah, like if you play like this amount, you should probably get new wedges like every 6 to 12 months. And I was just like, I have not gotten a new wedge in 5 years. Where are you finding all of this money, Sarah? Where are your money bags, Malone? I need to find them because I will definitely, if I have that, I'd get a new wedge every 6 months if I had that type of money. And she was like, no, it's for like the pros and everything like that. And I was like, don't tell me that. Don't tell me going off the start that I should get new wedges every 6 to 12 months and then tell me it's not for me, because now I feel left out. So
yeah, I mean, if you go grab a brand new wedge and you hit it, you might notice that it has a little bit more bite to it. But if you're used to what you're playing, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, totally, 100% agree. Also, Tim, welcome.
Boys, what did I miss? Oh my goodness, what a day! I see we have our most awaited guest, Jessica's iPhone. I do.
Tim, Jessica's iPhone. Tim, shoot golf.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are we doing today? What did I miss?
Well, you missed Jayme talk about all of his fantastic clubs, Tim. So don't worry on that side. Yeah. But
you should check out his website, Tim. cmdgolfco.com.
Yes, and you can tell that we were 100% prepared for this interview because only one of the three of us had went to the website beforehand. You're welcome, boys. You're welcome. Anyways, Tim, I wanted to open the floor to you because I know you probably have some pretty great questions as well, but just in case.
Oh, all right. So what I was thinking about this. What is so I'm guessing you take requests from different people. And Jayme, how are you? My name's Tim. Glad to have you. Glad to have you on the pod, and thanks for having me on the pod because I'm the late one. And so anyway, as a golfer, are you taking requests as to like what people specifically want? Like, and my follow-up question, if the answer is yes, what is the most bizarre request for a golf club you've ever gotten or ever received?
Yeah, so most of the putters that I'm making right now are all custom orders, so called customer requests. But we're still starting off with a shape that I've already designed, and if it's something that I haven't designed before, I'm usually a little selective about that. But as far as I would say the most odd request I had once was somebody like wanted to combine like 3 or 4 different patents from a bunch of different companies and different putters and combine them into one. And it was like, man, you're trying to get me into 4 different lawsuits. No, thank you.
I was about to say, isn't that just straight illegal?
Yes, it is.
So what do you mean by like they wanted you to like copy like a certain size, a certain design, or what in the patent?
Different patented technologies. So I think two of them were face technologies. I don't remember what the other 2 were off the top of my head. It was a short conversation. No, thank you.
You blacked out during that conversation. You were just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. But other than that, I haven't had too many other crazy requests. I mean, nothing too crazy. Any crazy requests I've had, I've made. So other than that was the only one that I haven't. So.
And that was for legal issues.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
Is this something that has, and I'm sure you guys have already talked about it, is this something that you have taken from wherever you worked before or whatever you were doing before, you have taken this company and made it into a full-time job?
Yeah. So I took machining in high school. So I went to a vocational high school. So starting from 9th grade all the way until I graduated, I was in machining. And then I got into the industry full-time while I was in my senior year. And I've been in the machining industry ever since high school. So, I'm 32 now. So you do the math. It's more than half my life I've been involved in the machining industry. And, 4 years ago, I started the business, and year after starting the business, I got into the golf industry, and yeah.
So are you using like CNC machines, laser jet machines, water jet machines, like that kind of machinery?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Those are some cool things, cool technology. Used to work at a company that did all that, and it's like programmers and all that stuff. I don't even know. It's a whole nother world. But to be able to take that and take your trade, take your skills and make it into something that something you like to do. So take your skills and put it into a passion and combine them both. I mean, that's most people's dreams. I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it right, my man.
Yeah, I'm spoiled. Very spoiled.
Yeah.
I won't say spoiled. Cool. I'll say you got the machines going. You're not just sitting there reading a book while they're going. You're designing.
Oh no. I don't want to come across as coming out. Never a silver spoon. I've worked for everything I have, but
exactly.
It's been a lot of hard work, and especially when I was teaching machining and I started this business, I was doing both full time. So I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning, come out to the shop for a couple hours, go teach from 7 o'clock to 2 o'clock, get home and work until 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And I do that 5 days a week, and then I'd be working full time on the weekends doing this. It's taken a lot to get this business to where it is now, to where I could do it full time, just this, and I was able to leave the teaching job.
No, I can't. I mean, as we said earlier, Brian, don't get any ideas of pursuing your dreams. We need to stay. We need to stay on the desk jobs, because I don't think I would have the stamina to do that.
I know that's what's funny is obviously Tim being a firefighter, and my dad was a firefighter. My uncle's like, the firefighting is the family business, and I sold out, and now I work 9 to 5. It's much safer. My biggest risk is getting a paper cut. And so or sending a reply all email. That's really the biggest
I was
thing.
about to say it's probably the second is the number one.
But I say it all the time. I am a fire evacuation leader at work. So I was like, Dad, are you proud of me now? I get people out, I put my vest on, and I tell people to get out when the alarm goes off. And he's just like, yep, I'm so proud of you, Bri. I'm like, thanks, Dad.
Jayme, quick question. Can you make Brian a little fireman hat so he can wear it, so that way he can be the fire or a fire brigade bell, or both? Actually, both. That would be amazing.
Funny. I was at this thing, and I got a Brookline Police Junior Policeman badge. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start doing my rounds around the neighborhood with my junior police badge.
Oh man, that would be, imagine that, just going up to someone and being like, halt, I'm a junior police officer. They would just laugh in your face. They'd be like, go home, Brian. Home.
Brookline's pretty.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm a delivery driver.
Brookline's pretty liberal. I think they'd welcome me with open arms and give me a pat in the back and and all that.
Send you on your merry way.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. He's trying. He identifies as a policeman.
It's like funny. A Dwight Schrute and like the what was that, like backyard? Jayme, are you an Office fan?
Yeah, it's like I
haven't watched much of The Office.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Yeah, like a sheriff's like junior program, or like volunteer corps or something like that. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and they have trainings every Wednesday. It's like they have flashlights and that's it. It's awesome. It's awesome. Nice. But anyway, back to golf. Sorry about that.
Oh no.
So anyway, did you guys ask them the hole-in-one question yet?
No, we have not. We were waiting for you.
Beautiful. I'm dying to know. Well, first of all, how's your game, Jayme? I don't know if they talked about this at all, but how's your game looking? Don't have to give any specifics, but are you happy with your game to where it is? Are you at your best? Are you at your worst? Talk to me.
I mean, I'm a decent player, but could be better. I started the year off as a 3, ended off as a 5. So we regressed a little bit, but I'm not really too worried about it.
That's better than any of us.
I don't, I usually only play 9 holes a week, so I don't really hold it over my head too much. It is what it is. my oldest son likes to play, so it gives me the opportunity to go out with him, after work for a few holes here and there. But I find that when I go out with him, I don't care to work on my game. I just want to watch him and play, teach him things, show him things around the course. And, I enjoy that a lot more than worrying about whether or not I'm a 3 or a 4 or whatever my handicap is. But I'm very competitive, so don't don't think that I'm not trying to get better, because I am.
But definitely say it obviously helps you in your industry of creating golf clubs, of being just having that knowledge, and even you being such a low handicapper versus us who are in the double digits. I think a lot more than even us as double digits. I think it's like hilarious to think that, because you think there's only so much you can know about something or golf, but you just know a lot more into that. And also you growing up with the golf course in your family and living across the street and playing every single day, I think that that adds to it as well. So it's no secret or no surprise that you ended up doing what you're doing, given your past and all that.
Yes, my definitely 2 paths in my life have crossed, and I'm very happy where I'm at.
I always find it funny when people like try and make fun of like Duffin up, and they're just like, "Oh, what's your handicap?" I'm like, you guys realize it's called, like, we're not called super good golf guys. Like, we're called Duffin up for a reason. like we are like between 9 and 12 handicaps. Like we are the normal golfers. Now, obviously not normal golfers, but we are like the majority of golfers, where we are okay, not great, can hit it if we can can play really well, and can also play really, really bad. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, high handicap, low expectations out there for sure.
Mid handicap, extremely high expectations, thinking that we're tour guys. True. That's the norm. That's the normal out here.
Well, it's
funny. Anyways,
Jayme,
go ahead, Tim. No, you go ahead.
So Jayme, you were saying, this is a question that I kind of have for all of you guys. I was thinking about it the other day, and it kind of has to do with like Brendan saying that we might not be good golfers, but we're all here. And we just love the game. I mean, that's pretty much all this is all about. We're not doing this for money. We just like the game of golf, like talking to guys like you. When you have a round coming up, do you still have that little kid excitement? Like, you're getting up early, and I know Brian and Brendan are the same way there. It's so much easier to get up and go to a golf round early than it is to go to work or because we still have that little kid energy in us. We're like, we get to go out there. We can't. I go to bed thinking about that first tee, ready to go. And Jayme, I'm hoping you still have that same feeling. But if not, I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, most days you're getting out of bed and it's like, oh, son of a bitch. And you gotta, golf days you levitate out of bed. I mean, it's perfect. Yeah, no, definitely. I was supposed to play in a tournament this Sunday and it got canceled, and I'm still a little butthurt about it.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
So yeah, no, definitely, dude. I mean, definitely. I love playing.
Levitate out of bed. I like that.
Levitate. I do like that.
I like that, because I mean, that's me every morning. I'll be late to a 9 a.m. meeting versus my 6 a.m. tea time. It's just the passion and the drive and the want to be better. And I also like the routine of getting a Dunkin' coffee and always throw in a chocolate frosted donut just because, in hopes that it's a celebratory donut for something, from some milestone, but it's never not. So I just end up just having a donut. But it's just part of that. But I levitated out of bed this morning, and I do it often before work. I play 9 before 9 often, so that's great.
Counting down, Bry guy. Counting down. The sun is.
I kid you not. It's now in October. Each month it got later and later. So the earliest tee time is 7:30. So it's really I have to work a little bit later than 5 o'clock in order to make up for when I'm clocking in at 10:30 or 10 o'clock. It's tough.
Brutal. Oh, Tim, I know you want to ask him about hole-in-ones, so I know you got
All
it.
right.
I know you got it.
I mean, I know the answer's got to be yes. I mean, he's a 3 to 5 handicap, but it's not. I mean, the chances are the same for every single golfer, no matter your ability. Jayme, do you have a hole-in-one?
No.
He does it.
Welcome to the club. Yeah.
And
One
sorry,
of
we're
us.
cheering for
One
you.
of us.
We apologize. We're not cheering that you don't have one. We're just excited that you are
You're
like us.
Our
You know
first
that
guest
feeling.
in a while that hasn't had one, and like we were like starting to feel terrible. Like when we had John on, like we were like, "Do you have any holes in one?" He was like, "I have 7," and I was like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean you have 7 holes in one? How did this happen?"
Yeah, my uncle is the club pro at our course, and I think he's got about 7.
Life's just not fair sometimes. Like it honestly, like it's literally just not fair. Like I just want one. That's all I want, and I don't want it where you hit it on the second. You know what I mean? Like you go in the water. Like I definitely don't want that where you go in the water and then you score it in for par, because then it definitely doesn't count.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh. Just give me
I know
one
a guy
before
that
I
did
die.
that. I know a guy that did that.
That must be the worst feeling in the world.
You know what? Opposite of that, best feeling in the world. My other uncle, he got a hole-in-one on, win a car hole-in-one contest type of scramble. His first hole-in-one, his first ever hole-in-one, and he's probably, he's probably 10 handicap or so, somewhere in that ballpark. First ever hole-in-one, and he wins a car.
Some people just have the most luck in the world. Like that is, was it a good car? Like, was it like a,
it was like no, it wasn't a car that he wanted, and he actually ended up working out a trade with the dealer, and he got like a vehicle equivalent. He got like a little Ford Ranger.
Gotcha. I mean, hey, if you can do that, just return the car. You know what I mean? You win the car, you bring the car back to the dealer. You're like, hey, I'll trade this in. Give me a car payment. I'll trade this plus my car plus what else I got, and then I could get like a nice little F-150. That's how it works.
Sure.
Or a Ranger, like you said, or a Ranger. Those are very, very nice trucks now too. I love them. But anyways, Tim, I know we do have. We'll save the best. We do have one non-golf kind of like end of podcast question that is literally our favorite, and I
already have the answer.
I'm sure you've heard. Huh?
You know it?
I already have the answer for it. Don't worry. Oh. Yeah. No, the answer's pie. The answer's pie. Cake sucks. Don't insult a pie. You don't insult a cake. Or insult a pie, I mean, with cake. I mean, listen. You will eat pie content without the pie. You'll have pudding, you'll have berries, you'll have whatever the content is. You don't take the frosting off the cake and say, no, I just want the cake. No. People don't just order cake for the cake. You order pie because it's really good pie. First time I heard that question, I was like, hey, it's a terrible question.
But it gets the conversation going.
and it's pie season too. I mean, it's perfect time. It's fall.
Tim is heartbroken. Tim is absolutely heartbroken. His question has been destroyed.
It has absolutely been my favorite answer by far, because not only did he have an answer ready, but he was so passionate about this answer. He was absolutely all heart on this question. He knew pie. He's pie guy. This is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, now here's the breaker, and I'm sure you've probably heard about the breaker too. What are your thoughts on cheesecake?
Well, what about it?
So we have said, because like we have ruled
out. Is it a pie or is it a cake?
No, we have ruled it out because you cannot have a cheese, because cheesecake, number one, cheesecake is my favorite personally. I love pie. I am also on team pie, by the way. I think I'm the only one out of us 3 who are on team pie, right, Bri? And Tim, you guys were team cake, weren't you?
No, I'm team pie. I love pie.
Oh, okay.
I love pie. Yeah. I don't know. I'm team cheesecake.
Yeah, I was just about to say, me and Brian are very much team cheesecake.
Or cobbler. I like a good cobbler as well.
We had to rule that one out. We've had like exceptions because people bring in like different types of like desserts. So like cobbler got brought in by the Trill Golf guys, and we were like, no, we can't have that because that's cheating. Cheesecake is the ultimate cheating, we think, because it's literally kind of like you just said, like it's kind of a combination almost of like a cake and a pie, and it's delicious. And then yeah, so we always kind of ask like, what's your thoughts on cheesecake too?
Cheesecake is fine, but it's definitely a pie. I don't know where the name cake comes in.
Okay. Agreed.
That is interesting because we now have Jayme has gone officially on the record. Pie, just cheesecake is now pie too. I like it.
You make it like a pie. You don't make it like
I've never made a cheesecake. I've just bought it from the Cheesecake Factory, or the nice little dessert place down wherever you can get it. I've never made a cheesecake, but now I know. Okay, it's a pie. I like it. I like it a lot. We didn't. It's unbelievable. I love it. I absolutely love.
Are you
this
in?
Is by far and away my favorite ant. Like it is adamant. These are the most adamant anyone has ever been with the question. I love it.
Yeah, well, these are facts. I mean, I don't know. There's no, these are facts.
It's awesome. It's so funny. My man is passionate about his pie. Love it. So are you in or out on carrot cake? What are your feelings?
Oh, I'm all in. All in. I usually ask for carrot cake.
All in.
Oh yeah, all in.
Come on.
All the chips. All the chips. Yeah, we're good.
We're all in on pie. We're all in on cheesecake. We're all in on carrot cake. I love it.
Just because I'm, like pie. If I have my choice between pie and cake, I mean, pie can, whatever. But I'm not going to turn away cake if that's the only thing that's, there for dessert.
Absolutely, 100%. Nope, don't disagree with you there. Jayme, I got another question for you. We got the one that we always ask at the end. I'm guessing you already listened to all these now. So now, is he ready? You are stranded on an island. You're stranded on an island for a year. You have unlimited golf balls, Pro V1s, whatever you play, TP5X, whatever, Vices, I don't know what you play. Would love to. You can only bring one club. Which club are you hitting over and over and over?
Yeah, I actually didn't think about this one as much. Probably a 7-iron. It gives you the opportunity to chip it around a little bit, but then at the same time, you can hit full shots. You can hit it high, you can hit it low, you can shape it left to right, right to left. So it's not, you're not limited to where, like, if you bring your sand wedge, it's like, oh, I can hit full shots, I can chip with it. And then, I don't know. To me, I think it's probably the most versatile club in your bag and give you the opportunity to hopefully pass your time by with pleasure on that island.
So what degree would that be? That's the bigger question. What loft are we bringing? As a 7-iron, what loft?
34.
34. Okay. We're not pulling out Bryson's 22-degree 7-iron. I love it. Let's do it. This is great. Oh God, imagine that. They literally showed, I don't know if you saw it, Jayme. They showed like a picture of like Bryson's I think he said it was like his 8-iron, or maybe not his 8-iron. It might have been his 7-iron, and like everyone was commenting. It was like, that's a 4-iron, where they were like that loft, because it was literally just like straight, and it looked like a long iron. But you know how he is. He has them all the same length and everything.
Single length, yeah.
And everyone was like, one comment was just like, did he pull out the wrong club? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how much kind of tomfoolery some of the tour pros are doing, and then it comes down to our length and people buy it.
He's a fascinating character, that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Then we got Tim, you want to take the last one?
You betcha. It's like I'm the closer. I come in, I ask the questions.
You are. Usually you're I'm usually the opener, but usually you're kind of like the call to the bullpen, because you get the call to go out on the trips.
Jayme, I'm guessing you did your homework. You know what question is coming next. In your backyard, I want you to look in your backyard. I want you to imagine your favorite golf hole that you would want in your backyard. You get to play it over and over. It has all the scenery, all the amenities, all the accoutrements that golf hole may come with, which hole are you choosing? It could be one you've played, or it could be one you've only seen on TV. Which hole do you want?
Yeah, I've struggled with this one. I don't know. Man, I've thought about this from every angle too. Do you want it to be, you don't want it to be a par 3, right? That's pretty boring.
Nope.
Right.
Out on par 3.
I was thinking it's like, oh, it'd be cool if it was, maybe a drivable par 4. But then I was like, well, it kind of limits you to, your options too. So I was thinking like, should be a par 5, because you don't always have to play it as a par 5. You could go make an imaginary tee box up front, play it as a par 3, move it around, because it's your hole. It's in your backyard. You can do whatever you want with it, right? So do you want water? Do you want it to be a dog leg? Do you want it to be straight? Do you want to have a ton of bunkers? I didn't think about the scenery aspect. As soon as you said the scenery aspect, the one hole that came to my mind was the 18th hole at they play the Tournament of Champions. It's in Hawaii. What's the name of that course?
Kapalua.
Yeah, Kapalua. That 18th hole is pretty cool. That's got a nice view.
That hole is awesome.
And it's so long. It's so long, and they still get it in 2 because it goes down so much. It's like a 700-yard par 5, and they reach it in 2 because like it just keeps like going and going and going. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd get sick of my backyard if that was there.
Yeah, I mean, then you would also like, even if you're in Westfield, Massachusetts, you're technically in Hawaii as well. So I think I would take that.
Right.
Oh man,
have you seen that video? Have you seen the video of that hole? Bubba Watson, he goes driver, putter, eagle. I love that. I can watch that one over and over. That's so cool. If you guys haven't seen it, Bubba Watson goes. That's so cool.
With his amazing, like unteachable banana slice. Unteachable
banana.
It's an like it's
downhill
exactly
lie below his feet. I mean, it's forget about just a flat. Yeah,
he basically aims 45 degrees and he just like whips it in. I'm like, just imagine if you had the power to hit your ball like semi-straight, how far would it go? Because he's hitting it 315, 320 with a banana slice. It's like just a little bit, just a little bit. And it's crazy that he won the Masters twice, because that is not like a wide open, like Augusta's the polar opposite of a wide open place. Like it's nuts how he plays there. It's insane. I don't understand. I don't understand Bubba Watson just in general. And he's a fellow lefty, and I just don't get it. I never will. Rant over. Oh man.
He's pretty accurate, even though he plays a big a big curveball.
Oh, 100%. No, he's filthy, but like, yeah, I mean, you have to be a 2-time Masters winner, but
yeah, for sure.
I just don't understand how he does it. It's unbelievable. Oh man. Well, Jayme,
neither do I.
We very much appreciate you coming on tonight, good sir. We loved talking to you. Everyone, please go follow CMD Golf on Instagram. I'm sure you have a Facebook page as well. But no Facebook page. Oh, look at that. Well, follow him on Instagram. Go to cmdgolfco.com. Look at the absolutely amazing gallery that he has there. Pick out your milled putter and then just send him, $1,500 and you'll get it in the mail. It'll be great. It will be fantastic.
Only if it was that easy.
I know, right? And then he's, labor intensive on the backside. But I will tell you what, like these are, I mean, if anyone just wants to go and just look at them, but obviously if you can buy one as well. These things are absolutely amazing. Jayme, what you're doing for the boutique world, I mean, it's unparalleled looking at a lot of these. So we really appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you kind of giving us all of the tricks of or not really the tricks of the trade, but a little bit of an insight into the world that we don't really get to see a lot on the boutique side. So thank you so much, Jayme. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. Thanks.